I hope it don't fall and hit my toe.
It shouldn't.
Okay.
Why would it do that?
I don't know. Sphinx might be mad at me.
I'm like at him. Yeah. But yeah. So
Peace.
peace, love, and light,
Yeah, all of that good stuff.
and all of that good stuff. Yeah. What's up? I see we got one person in there.
Hello, hello, hello.
What's going on? What's going on? Oh, Friday the 23rd. No, Saturday the 23rd. We 19 minutes past the hour.
Yes, I'm so glad you did that. We gotta start time stamping when we do our videos.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to the stream, and hope all has been well for everybody. It's been a week, a long week.
Yeah.
Yep, always a trying week, and so we know that if you've come to this place, then you've come to get some more affirmation and confirmation. Ain't that right?
Yes, exactly it. And some information.
Yeah. And some information.
For acceleration.
Y'all dig the wordplay? But yeah, without any further ado, as you saw the title, the 2 hidden ways to accelerate your ascension. Basically, this the time now that so much is changing, and either you're desiring to grow spiritually, or you kind of like in that stagnant place, that stuck place where you're not thinking about it one way or the other. And so, especially for those of us who are
so loud,
funny, man. We laughing at Sphinx. I'm kidding. So if you are that individual who's desiring to grow spiritually, then these are some of the type of talks that you definitely want to be privy to, get a chance to share in. And so
we gonna. Marquita was on. She was gonna ask the question about hell. Yeah.
Oh, she was.
Like they jumped off, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Nevertheless.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Hey, back at you.
Yeah, hey there. We didn't get to speak to you.
Yeah. But yeah, we can continue on because this.
Okay.
Go ahead and deal with
the first one.
Yeah, and you can break down ascension.
Right.
For those that may not know what it is.
We're kind of in the middle of people who practice religion and people who are trying to be spiritual, and so we try to stay in the element of what y'all need to know to assist you. One huge thing, first of all, ascension, the whole word ascension, that's just that you're gaining velocity. You're gaining progression. You're actually getting somewhere in this thing called life. You're actually getting real momentum. You're accelerating to the point where you think about somebody and they call. Or you think of a song and it comes on the radio, or you start noticing numbers. That's spiritual ascension. That's acceleration. That's what happens. And so whenever you begin this process, it's so different than church. It is so different from church. I can't even explain how different this is for us, because you're fully accountable.
That's right.
And there's nobody standing over you. There's nobody you need to ask forgiveness for if you don't do the right thing. It's just you. And you have to work with you. So with that being said, in order to truly ascend spiritually, 2 things we still dealing with. You have to clear your bloodline.
Yep.
You have to do meditation for ancestor healing of your bloodline, especially if your bloodline came over here doing slavery, or especially if you're on the other side of that and maybe your grandparents were slave owners. And so you have to clear that karmic pattern out of your bloodline. Now in church, that was called a generational curse. And it was something that you needed to acknowledge that's passed down to 4 generations. And so we were trying to grow spiritually, and it seemed like we were stuck. And we couldn't figure out why we were stuck. And the reason we were stuck is because we had not addressed any of these issues. And so you have to deal with that, because your ancestors are you. Your ancestors are you.
Exactly.
And you are your ancestors.
That's right.
I don't care how long they've been dead, how long they've been gone. Your blood has you in a covenant with them.
That's right.
So you have to offer your ancestors healing and the information that they could not get because they were born in a time where this information was not available. That is so important for anyone who wants to be the best that they can be.
Crucially
and
important.
Be your true spiritual self.
That's
to be
right.
your authentic soul, to do what you were put here to do.
That's right.
And so it is a responsibility. We highly recommend Aphrodite Starseed's channel. She was the first person who really introduced us into ancestor healing. We didn't know that was a thing, because how we grew up, you just plead the blood of Jesus over it and it's done.
Right.
And no, that's not how it works. That's not how karma works. Karma is a judicial cycle. Until you clear that karma, until you, whatever that pattern is in your bloodline, until you deal with that, you're going to keep self-sabotaging your own spiritual journey. So we highly recommend, go to our playlist. The name of the playlist is Relax on this channel. Scroll through there and you'll find the Ancestor Healing Meditation by Aphrodite Starseed. It was so powerful. The first time we did it, it was kind of weird because we never acknowledged them before. We never acknowledged their pain, their suffering. We never acknowledged what all they went through so that we could be here right now.
Right.
Spiritual growth is all about gratitude and being grateful.
Yeah.
And so we had not acknowledged our ancestors and everything that they did so that we could exist in this moment right here. That's an issue for anybody trying to be a truly spiritual person. So please, 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 deal with the issues in your bloodline. It don't matter what it is. Drug abuse, sex abuse, narcissism.
Go ahead.
Right?
I just had a point that I wanted to.
Okay, so the list goes on and on. So you got to deal with this stuff, because guess what? While you're going through the spiritual awakening, you are forced to purge this stuff out of you that is not going to be beneficial for your growth. And so in purging that, you got to reach back. You got to pay it forward. And so in the meditation, just imagine everything that's in your mind, it exists. So let's say you can think about your grandparent, and just clear as day, you can see them in your mind. Well, they may have left their physical body, but they still exist simply because they exist in your mind. So anything that you can imagine in your mind, it is more real than the things you can feel, touch, see, smell, hear, taste. Okay? So true. Even religion taught us about the 5 senses and how there was much more in the light spectrum that we couldn't see. So our ancestors still are existing because the soul is immortal. You live for eternity. And you just decide what dimension, what plane, what frequency, what vibration you're going to exist in. And so our ancestors, in the meditation, our ancestors, I wrote it down because we started an ancestor altar, and that was huge for us because for so long we were like, that's demonic, man. They got an altar dedicated to their ancestors. But when we would go to acupuncture places, when we would go get our nails done, like all of the cultures who seem to have abundance acknowledge their ancestors. Some restaurants.
Some restaurants have altars in them.
And so we noticed, cultures who continue to acknowledge their ancestors and honor their ancestors, not worship them, honor their ancestors.
Right.
They have abundance. Yeah, it's a huge difference. And so that's the missing thing. If you're wondering what's missing, if you're wondering why it seems like you're struggling getting into abundance, it could be abundance in joy, happiness, abundance in peace, abundance in money, abundance in health, emotions, mental. all of that. If you're struggling with that, that's because these are the laws of the universe that have not been revealed to us, because we were born under an indoctrination of people who had all of this occult, hidden, esoteric knowledge, but would not share it with the masses, so that they could benefit off of the capture of our minds and our souls. And so we're going through a cycle right now of purging. And so how the planets are aligned does affect behavior. And so I already know you're feeling yourself having to let go of stuff. You feeling that man, I can't eat that no more. You just all of a sudden you're eating something you probably eat every single day, and all of a sudden you can't have it no more. You just hear something so loud saying you should stop eating that. You don't know why. That is your higher self. That's your oversoul. That's the core of who you are, trying to shake you out of the slumber, the sleep that we have been lullabied by, to show you, I know you desire spiritual ascension. I know you desire to fulfill your purpose on earth. This is what you got to do it. And so the ancestor altar was the very next thing after ancestor healing. We knew that we had to do that. So if you don't have pictures, don't make nothing more complicated than it has to be. Start super simple wherever you are.
Write a name. Write their names.
Just write their names down.
Yep.
And just say their names. Say Ashe. We light an incense. We pour some water into a plant. And so you have the 4 elements of earth, with the air, the fire, the earth, and the water with pointed in the plant. And so basically what you're doing is you're acknowledging the number 4 and the power of the number 4. You're acknowledging the elements in which we all exist because of them. We can't live without them.
Right.
And so you're taking all of that together to honor people who, if they did not fight to be here, you wouldn't be here.
That's right.
And no one can expect to get anything from anywhere when you don't acknowledge the people who help you get to where you are. And that is our ancestors. And so that's why we believe in ancestor healing, ancestor altars. This is something you should definitely revisit. If you notice issues in your relationship, if you notice issues within yourself, your children, it's time to revisit that. So I'm going to let you jump in with what you was going to share.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, don't think that it's strange, y'all, because we're talking about this ancestor healing. In this culture, we celebrate ancestry. We celebrate our ancestors for their accomplishments and their achievements, the things that may have been done, the African American advancements. We celebrate those things. Though not all, but we do celebrate them. We do acknowledge them. However, we now find ourselves demonstrating trauma. We demonstrate the effects of everything that we done been through since our ancestors came to this soil. But the problem is we demonstrate the trauma, but we never really have addressed all of the releasing of it. You know, you celebrate the goodness, you have a lifestyle of demonstrating the effects of negativity and effects of oppression, but then we drop the ball as it relates to how to deal with and how to release, how to free ourselves from that same trauma, how to free ourselves from all of the negative attachments, all of the soulish attachments of the past. And so that's what we're talking about in regards to ancestor healing. There are many things that our ancestors went through that they didn't get an opportunity to heal from. So if now that several generations, of a couple of generations later, let me correct myself, a couple of generations later, that you're now coming into this knowledge and you're coming into this true understanding, then it's your responsibility to help them be healed, to help them be freed. Because a lot of what our ancestors know and what they knew was because of that particular point in time and what they were given. And so now that we're in a whole new age and a whole new dispensation of time, we have the ability to tap into this. We have the ability to communicate with our ancestors. Like Cam said, it was one point in time where communicating with anything other than somebody that's able to communicate back verbally, or whether it's texting, phone, dialoguing, you would thought that was eerie. You would thought that was wicked. Then when you get into religion, you feel like that's demonic, and you feel like it's something, it's frowned upon, and it's something that you shouldn't do. But when you really begin to do your own in-depth studying and researching on things, you'll find out that a lot of stuff that we were told to stay away from is really some things that we should be drawn to, and we'll find the benefits of it. And so, ancestor healing, just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Look at one of those questions. We can answer
Okay.
one of the questions. We thank y'all so much for coming in here with us so late at night, and we're reading your questions right now. We're gonna answer a few questions before we go to the next point. But I know somebody mentioned hell, and that's connected to ancestor healing as well. One of the first ones was hell, and somebody wanted to know, should they try all of the meditations in the playlist? Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
That's it.
I would say really ask yourself that question. What is it that you are, and this is to address the question about should you try all of the meditations. I would say no. I would say definitely ask yourself the question, what is it right now that kind of like a foundation, laying a foundation for meditating. If meditating is something that you are not accustomed to, and it is new to you, then you have to, just like with anything, you have to start on some basic, when you say baby, like start with the basics of meditating.
Stop.
And there are some videos in that playlist that are basic, that will get you going and get you to the point to where, okay, because with meditating, you have to make it a practice.
Yes.
It can't be something that's a hit and miss, that you do once and then you don't do. Meditation is something that will become a way of life for you. And you'll realize after you do it and you start getting some results, then you'll see the necessity for continuing to practice meditating.
Spinks. You better stop.
That's what I would recommend. I would just recommend you asking your higher self that question, asking yourself that question. We don't realize when we ask ourselves a question, and in a lot of ways, the higher self will give you that answer. But it's us, because we are not in tune with that intuition side of us, that we can just kind of like rule it out.
Yeah. And just to add to that, and I'm gonna try to sum up everything that y'all are communicating with us right now, because they're all connected. But with the meditations, pick what resonates with you the most. These two things that we're giving you are the two things that we missed in our spiritual journey. We didn't know how important these two things were, so that's why we're sharing these two things with you. Go ahead and hit low power. And so it's very important. So pick out of that list what resonates with you the most. It don't matter if you're falling asleep or if you feel like you're not visualizing as well. That's okay. Right. Just keep doing it. I promise, I guarantee you, you will have a breakthrough. Yes, baby. Okay. You will have a breakthrough. So just keep at it and keep doing it. And somebody mentioned hell to me the other day. I'm not sure whose question that was. But let me address that now, because this is why ancestor healing and meditations is important as well. Heaven and hell, if your body, the kingdom of heaven, exists inside of you, most of us know that basic thing, then the kingdom of hell exists inside of you as well. You have to remember that the soul is bigger than your body. that the soul is so big that it was able to garner energy to manifest a body into this plane. And so because we know that we are the microcosm of the macrocosm, you are a little universe, right? And so because you know that, the same way NASA has been out there and still have not discovered half of what there is out there to discover, you have not discovered the things within yourself.
That's right.
And so what happens, we were taught about demonic possession. And so religion was more like a pre-K form of spirituality, and we can absolutely use it to grow. You don't have to throw away what you learned in religion. You just have to learn to discern it and decipher it correctly. Religion talked about demonic possession, demonic spirits, attachments, thought forms. So a man thinketh, so is he. So that's a thought form. If you're constantly thinking negative things about yourself, then that's what's going to manifest. We know this about scripture, but we also know that Christ went to hell, right, to set people free. Abraham's bosom, he had the keys, and after that he was able to ascend. This basically means that the dark shadow, ugly things about yourself, the secrets of your family, the secret things that you've never shared with anyone that happened to you, all of that stuff is a low vibration inside of you, and that is a location that we would describe as Hades or hell throughout scripture and a lot of different mythology. Okay, so heaven and hell, and the possibility of both is within you. Now, when I had my near-death experience, one of the times I went to heaven, and another one of the times I went to hell. And those videos are on my channel. It's probably almost 10 years ago, but you can type in near-death experience and put my name with it, and it should come up. Or you can type in, I went to hell twice, actually. You can type that in. It's very, very interesting. Even when I look back at the video, I'm like, wow, I had no idea how much was being shown to me at the time. But that was within myself. And so that's the purpose in the ancestor healing, so that you can access those negative, dark, low vibrational things, secret things that are anchoring your soul into the matrix, so you can access that stuff and begin setting yourself free, getting the yokes and chains and bonds off of you. That's right. As you offer that same freedom to your ancestors. And that's going to speed up your ability to be connected to your intuition, to be able to make decisions with your heart, to not be afraid to try new things and to be different, to be okay with being transparent. You might be shy, or you get anxiety when you're in large groups of people, and all of a sudden you're finding yourself being drawn to wanting to help people. So that's all a part of the ascension. So I hope that answers the question of heaven and hell that exist inside of us. And so when you die and leave here, whatever vibration you were on, that's usually where you're going to begin the next part of the journey once you leave your physical body. And so for some people, like a lot of our ancestors, they died in suffering, being whipped, raped, and all of those terrible things that we know happen on this land. So our ancestors are stuck on a dimension, an astral world of suffering, because that was their existence, and they died in that existence, and we were disconnected from true spirituality, which had been here since mankind had been on earth. I'm talking about before Islam, Christianity, Judaism, the top 3 religions, Catholicism. Before all of that, we were separated from that, so we had no idea. So when you do the meditation, when we did the meditation, I could see our ancestors weeping. They were weeping because they knew that they had been lied to about the afterlife and how to get there, what happens when you get there, and how to avoid going to a low dimension and go to a high dimension, which is called heaven, throughout religion. And so they were very sad. Very sad. They just had a look and a feeling that I could feel in my heart, like we've been lied to. And we didn't find out we were being lied to about spirituality and heaven and hell until we got here. And so for me and him to show up in a meditation, remember, anything that you meditate, anything you can imagine as a child when you would daydream, that is real.
That's right. Everything
in the seen realm manifests from the unseen realm. So if you can imagine an owl talking to you in your imagination, doing a visualization in a meditation, that's real. That owl is really talking to you. And you just got to get comfortable with having that childlike state of mind, which is mentioned in the scripture as well. Christ himself talked about having faith like children. And so this is you just having faith in yourself and the ability that your mind and the power that exists in your mind.
That's right.
And that you're going to use it to not just help you and heal you, but your ancestors. That's huge. And you will find that the universe will begin to open itself up to you, and topics you were confused about all of a sudden make perfect sense. You have perfect clarity, and now you just seem like you have this knowledge that was downloaded inside of you being interpreted to you by something you don't know where it's coming from, and that something is your spirit guide.
That's right.
So that's why it's so important to do these meditations so that you can get in touch with your spirit guides. When we were born, we all came here with spirit guides. You have a team of angels, ancestors, ascended masters, every level you can think of, spirit animals. That is all real.
Yep.
And there is a oneness, just like the movie Avatar. There is a oneness. But the people coming to the planet to take the resources did not understand that there was a oneness, that they could feel the heartbeat of the tree, that they were connected to the animal that they could ride, and they would take their hair and attach their hair to the tail of the animal that they were riding in Avatar. And so that was showing the power in the subconscious unseen realm. And once you learn how to just find your way through that, to manifest in this realm the things that are there waiting for you. But you got to deal with the pain, the grief, and the trauma and the issues so that you will be clear, right? So you will be purified and purged and cleansed. And that's what the whole fire of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that's what that's really about, is transformation, being willing to be different. They were willing to say, you know what? No, we know that y'all are bowing to this God and that king. We're not going to do that. And so because you become courageous enough to say, you know what? I'm going to be different than my whole family. I'm going to be different than everybody I'm friends with, because this resonates with me. Christianity does not resonate with me anymore. Being a Hebrew Israelite, for some reason, no longer resonates to me. Be true to yourself. In order to know yourself, you got to be true to yourself. Fair. And so if that stuff don't resonate with you anymore, that's okay. Let it go. Let it purge, and new things will open themselves up to you. That's and right. For those of you stuck in that middle place, that's what's going to help you, because it's helping us a lot. And we got to keep pushing. We're not all the way there yet. That's we right. know that we're supposed to do voice guided meditations for you all, and we're not there yet. But we're working on it. We're working on it. And so, so just be encouraged in that.
And so you briefly, you briefly hit at it, but in regards to dealing with the inner child healing, we talked about the ancestor healing, and now we'll address the inner child healing. All of us, without a doubt, have experienced some things growing up as children. Whether you had, it's just no matter what type of upbringing you had, there was something that you dealt with that at some point it set in a defense mechanism, or some type of thought form that actually changed your perception about life. It could change your perception about men. It could change your perception about women. It could change your perception about you as an individual. These things that we experience as children, and guess what? They never got dealt with. And so whether we tried to build on top of it, whether we tried to box it up, compartmentalize it, and put it in a storage and forget about it, guess what? That's something that's still connected to you. That's something that's still that has never been addressed. And so in order for you to understand why sometimes you have certain tendencies, or the propensity to do some things, a lot of times is connected to the fact that we have to go back and find out where something was started, or where something was cut off. Where did it originate? Where did this issue originate? And a lot of times it originated when we were children. And so that's what the point of your inner child healing is all about. To just go back and find, and if you search search within yourself and you search within your history, your family history, you'll learn that there was, whether I'm gonna say this, whether it was your mother or your father who maybe had some issues, whether it was a brother or a sister who had some issues, maybe it was an aunt or an uncle, maybe it was a grandmother or a grandfather who had some issues, and you were under that umbrella, you were in the house, it had an effect on you. And so we have to deal with that.
Absolutely.
That ancestor healing and inner child healing go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And so we have to deal with that.
Absolutely. So one of the things, and we want to try to address some of these points here.
Yeah.
Someone was saying, so how do we come to some of these points and what gives us, hey Dina, hey everybody, hey Teddy, shalom
what's
everybody.
Up to everybody.
We're gonna have to shout. We're gonna shout everybody out
because
we understand it's important that we do that. We're gonna make sure we
appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
We do.
Thank y'all so
we
much.
Do.
Yeah.
So your question is, how do we come to these conclusions, and how do we know what's right and what's not? How do we get confirmation? And Dana, I see that you're going on 48 years old, and you say you're still trying to understand your purpose. I totally get that. We're right there with you. And that's why we're doing this now, while we're right there with you. Because a lot of people that we're looking to are already here, and so it's kind of difficult to connect with what they're saying. They're using terms and stuff we haven't used, and they've already been through these stages of purification that we haven't. So it's confusing. And so that's what we try to meet in the middle. So to answer your question, the way that we come to these conclusions, you can see our journey has been very public. But we get confirmation through each other a lot of times. We get confirmation through children. Pay attention to the synchronicities around you. You might be riding down the street and just all of a sudden you like, man, I need to be more grateful. My life ain't perfect, but I need to be more grateful. And you look up at a billboard and it says, be more grateful. And you like, you know.
It spoke to you that fast.
Yeah. And so the universe echoes. It is an echo. It could be a homeless person you get some change to, and they say something to you that's directly to something that you've been meditating about, looking for answers for.
That's right.
Pay attention to those things, those inklings, getting deja vu. All of these things are signs that you are attuning and aligning yourself to the universe, to true spirituality and enlightenment. And so that's how we come to conclusions. We wait till something comes back to us 2-3 times. Sometimes it comes back 4 and 5 times before we share it with you all. That's because we want to make sure it's confirmed. But we want to say truth is not absolute. It is and it isn't. There's so many possibilities, so many timelines, so many dimensions, parallel universes. We're learning all of this because we're in the age of knowledge. We're in the age of Aquarius, and so this is all coming to us now. So for you, your God may be a devil to someone else. Someone else's devil may be God to you. And so it's just acknowledging what resonates with you, what's going to benefit you in your growth, what's going to benefit people around you, and who you're called to impact, and what isn't. And whatever isn't anymore, purge, let it go. And what is, learn to just receive and give gratitude. So every little bit that you learn, give gratitude for it, no matter how small or how big, and you will notice that things will just open up to you. It make us laugh sometimes. We have probably 5,000 screenshots together of messages confirmed to us as truth that's going to be beneficial.
Or synchronicities.
And dreams. A lot of times the answers come in your dreams.
That is so true. That is so true. But and so y'all just know that, like, it's just so much, we got out of the place some time ago about approaching things that are unknown with a lot of preconceived ideologies and notions about it. You won't receive anything. You know what I'm saying? It's like asking somebody for some money with your fist balled up. You don't have an open hand to even receive it. So how you gonna receive something with your fist clenched? And so that's the same thing with understanding things and being. You have to first be open to understand. That's basically all we're saying. and being open to understanding and being open to receive, you will get answers.
Yeah, for sure.
But don't be scared of the answers that you get, because you did say that you want it.
Wow. Royal T said he's seeing a star being that exists, a star being. So let's jump on that.
Okay.
And then we got like probably 5 more minutes to share with you all. So anything that we missed, just email us at remnantsgathering@gmail.com. So, that's so good. Yeah, that's good. Deja vu is a really good sign. It's really good. Seeing numbers and recognizing numbers and patterns, great signs that you're going in the right direction. That's what deja vu means. We got so much we're going to share with you all. So, let me say this. Spink, stop. So, let me say, before I leave, I just want to say, it's okay. I ain't going to let Spink bother you. I just wanted to say, we have to understand that our origins, scientifically, our origins are exactly the same as space, as stardust. And so when you acknowledge that, when you acknowledge the fact that Earth is not the oldest planet in this solar system, that means that there was something exist before Earth did and before we did. So it's not far-fetched. Extraterrestrials has been just hyped up so much, and sci-fi has made those things unbelievable. But truth be told, this planet was seeded from the universe outside of Earth. Earth did not create Earth from within Earth. That would even make sense. So we understand principles, and we understand physics. We understand energy. Energy never dies; it just transforms. We understand those basic things. So when somebody first said to me, "I'm from the star system Sirius," I was like, whoa. But I had to realize my mind had been closed by the indoctrination. So for me, nothing exists, no life exists except Earth.
That's right.
Life has never existed anywhere else. And that's so arrogant to even think that and think that person is crazy.
Right.
Because truth be told, when you look at Judah, the Lion of Judah, and you look at Sirius, there are so many similarities and characteristics. And so a lot of people say that people who come from the lineage of the Lion of Judah, we actually began in Sirius, and we're placed here on Earth to live out what we call life. And yeah, that was so out there.
Look, I'm laughing at that.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Baby corn, that's a sign for y'all to go.
Right, water sniper, exactly. So so that's what we think about extraterrestrials. It's just part of the origins, just like space. I mean, it's so huge. We don't even know what's in the oceans and sea, and we live here. So how can you hypothesize that you know everything?
That's right.
And so we believe that we do come from the universe, and we're put here for a purpose. That's what we believe about extraterrestrials. That's just different beings outside of our light spectrum who have lives and exist just like we do. And we're probably just as alien to them as they are to us. And so it's just, being like, okay, I thought I knew it all. Okay, all right. You ain't got to believe it. Just research it and be like, okay. You might just sit it to the side. Yeah, that's possible. Okay. And that's how you grow spiritually. But when you get to the point that you're telling everybody they're wrong and this, that, and when you start doing that, you're vibrating a low vibration that's not going to allow you to ascend. Because you're operating out of condemnation, being judgmental and blocks. And you hadn't even did an ancestor clearing, or you hadn't even dealt with the fact that you were abused when you were 9 years old, and that 9-year-old you is stuck inside of you with all the emotions you experienced at that age. You hadn't even revisited your young self to liberate what happened to you and to heal.
That's right.
So you're not in a position to tell people you're wrong. What do we think about Pharaoh? We like young Pharaoh a lot. He's one of the people that we couldn't feel when we was in religion, but we like him now. He you're not going to agree with anybody 100%.
Yeah,
but
right.
we like him a lot, and we like what he's doing.
Yeah, you not gonna agree with us on everything. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff might resonate with you, and then other things you'll be like, I don't know about that one, y'all. But
she know you told it on.
Y'all see? Yeah, baby.
So you go shout out the names?
Yeah.
Hey, Terica.
Hey, Terica.
while he going through the names, I'm gonna say this.
I'm gonna try, y'all.
I'm finna say something, y'all. I promise you, I'm so sure it is. Something so special is happening right now with us in this channel. This is huge what's happening. The information that is coming to us to share with you all is the stuff that has been hidden from us since the beginning of time. There's been all kind of factions, separations, the Anunnaki, the reptilians, the Archons, the list goes on and on. The Sumerians, the Syrians, the Hyksos, the Egyptians, the Africans. It's just been so much, and it can be so confusing. And it's just so good to just have a community of people who we all respect each other. We may not all agree on the same points, but because your soul is ready to purge and be truly spiritual, you're here watching this video. That is your higher self, your soul, what we have been calling God. That's what guides you. That's what speaks to you. It's never wrong. Your gut is never wrong. So for something to never be wrong, we would equate that to a God essence that is sovereign, is perfect, and it never makes a bad decision. And so this whole journey is about reintegrating your projections. These are projections. That's all this is. We show each other what we want each other to see, what we're comfortable with you saying about us, and getting away from that, just being able to be your authentic self, because now you know thyself, because you're searching yourself. To be able to do that and connect with people, this is so huge. This is a non-judgmental zone right now, and we don't come from a non-judgmental background, because Christianity and Hebrew Israelite was all about judging everybody all the time. And now we're in a place where we're like, man, we just want to love people. We just want to vibrate high. We want to share our journey, our suffering, our struggles, what's difficult. And we just, man, we just want to take base gold, make base gold out of base metal. You know, we just want to figure out how to get in the furnace, get in the fire, and be able to get something out of it that we can give to people to help them. And so that's huge. So I just want y'all to know that you being here right now, I know y'all feel it. I know y'all can feel it. That energy, that electricity, the vibration, that is very real. And whenever you're getting true nutrition for your soul, for your spiritual journey, your higher self lets you know by allowing that to resonate through the heart chakra, where it's just hit you here. Even if it's uncomfortable. It may be hitting you like, man, that's crazy as hell. And then it might hit you like, man, that's so true. And you're like, dang, how I agree and disagree with one point.
Right. Exactly.
And so that's the attunement happening, the alignment happening, so you can fully integrate. And so right now, that's what's happening. We are learning to integrate our projections with our true, authentic selves, and that's requiring us to go back and look at the origins of history, look at the origins of this religion, that religion. It's requiring us to go back to where we began. So, yeah. So,
all right, we're going to give everybody a shout out.
Yeah.
You can see better than I can. Yes, baby.
It's time to go to sleep.
It's time to go to sleep.
Yes,
okay.
It is.
All right, who was it? Marquita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Marquita. We've been getting your questions. We love your questions. I like to be challenged.
Yeah.
And you definitely challenge us. So thank you. We appreciate you being a part of this.
Yep. And you too.
Yeah.
Let's say Alicia.
Hey, Alicia.
Yeah.
I saw you say you meditate all the time. That's so awesome.
That's good. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah.
We got is that Dina?
Yeah.
Dina. Okay. All right. Thank you, Dina. Oh, she's sleeping.
Hey, Teddy.
Okay. What's
up,
Teddy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zari.
What's up, Zari?
Yeah.
So good to see you, sister. Thank you.
Yep. Brother
Hey, Derek.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see you, Derek. I said, Lord, we done scared Derek off. Derek like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it feels good to hear some new ideas and just to be challenged to perceive things differently.
That's
so thank
true.
you for being back here with us, Derek. I didn't want you to leave. I told Ernest, I said, we had some more stuff put in us for him. It's too soon. He's not supposed to leave right now. So it's good to see you back. That's confirmation to me that there is something in us for you that's going to help you. So thank you for just listening to your intuition and being like, I'm gonna check him out tonight.
Yeah. We got, thank you, Royalty. Yeah, thank you for your question. Yeah. Water Sniper.
Yeah, shout out to Water Sniper.
Yeah.
And who is this? Denise? Is that Denise down there at the bottom? Just jump in.
Let me see. Okay, hold
on. Yeah, hey Denise. Yeah, okay.
Terica.
Hey Denise.
Yeah. What's up, Terica?
You still battling, Derek? That's what's up. That's good. Hey, Terica. Yeah. So yes, that's the whole purpose. We want y'all to think about stuff you never thought about before. That's the only way you can get out of the matrix. If you keep thinking with the same patterns, the same belief systems, and it never changes, your level, your velocity, your acceleration is not going to change either. And you're going to run in a hamster wheel and have to come back and do it again. So, yeah, that's so good. We got some good stuff for y'all, and it's coming. Yep. Earth is just a seed, and she is growing up. That's right, Royalty. Yeah. Royalty, you've been linked into metaphysics for a while, huh? We can tell by the way you talk. So, we're so glad y'all enjoy. You guys have figured it out. That's right, Marquita. Yes, we have. So we just gonna keep growing together. We don't know where we go from here. We know topics like death and things like that affect everybody. It's so important that we get an understanding, a true understanding of what that means. So again, we have, if you're still resonating with some Christianity or Hebrew Israelite, check out Truth Behind Christianity, that playlist. That's cool. Just gather information and you'll come to your own conclusions in your own time.
That's right.
Yeah. So we're just here to ignite that fire in you to keep searching. Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we appreciate y'all once again. And as it's already been stated, once the baby come in, that means the time is short then. So, Lon, you want to say something? You want to say good night?
Say good night.
You want to tell them it's time to go to bed? Yeah. Well, again, y'all, we love y'all. We thank y'all.
Oh, and I hear somebody asking this. So who do I pray to now? So do I keep praying? This is what we have come to the conclusion of. Now that we understand, we're getting a better understanding of the God, devil thing, heaven, hell thing, and that's all inside of us. And you can be as equally pure and righteous in enough light as you can of darkness. So what you do, meditation is your prayer. Meditation is prayer. It's just prayer. You're not asking someone to fix it for you. When you're meditating, you're allowing yourself to heal so that you can change your own life.
That's right.
So if you still want to pray, if that comforts you, then continue doing that if it's helping you.
Right.
But if praying is not helping you, meditation is going to be key, because whereas you would pray in the past, you're going to meditate for the answers versus asking a being higher than you for the answers. You're going to look within yourself for the answers.
Because after you get those answers, you still have to put some action behind it. There are some things that you would have to do. And so that's what we have come to learn, that we call it meta praying. And so we meditate, but at the same time, we affirm those things that we are manifesting, that we're desiring to manifest. And so I just want to say, man, I totally appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. We thank y'all for just sharing the love and coming on and listening to what we're talking about. And we know and we hope that it continues to be a inspiration and an encouragement and just bless y'all. But with that said, it's about that time. So we gonna pick back up. We gonna like we said last week, we're gonna try to make sure that we do more and more videos and stay connected. And so you're gonna be hearing from us soon. I not for certain as to what we're gonna be dealing with next time, but this is a part of the things that we're going through too right now, especially the inner child healing. And so definitely check out the playlist, y'all. Definitely uh, open your minds up to meditating and meta praying. And I'm just gonna say one love. Peace to every one of you. And until we come on again, y'all be blessed and take care.